Hello and welcome to Macanori, where I'm reading to you from the Headhunter, which is volume 1 in my Ellie Lawrence supernatural crime thriller series. If you remember from last week, Ellie had just received a very irate phone call from Vicki demanding her presence because of some disaster. So we're up to chapter 16 and we're going to find out what that disaster is. "Vicki, I'm here," Ellie called, letting herself into the gallery. As she walked towards the office, she sidestepped the shattered porcelain decorating the floor. "Leon will be pleased." "Come on, Loki," she said, clicking her fingers to attract the husky's attention. Loki stopped his inspection of the installations and ran over to Ellie, preceding her into the office. Ellie put the hot chocolate and donuts on Leon's desk and sorted through the keys to find the one for the back door. Finally, finding the right one, she unlocked the door. "Out you go, boy. There's lots for you to inspect outside. I won't be long." "I hope," she thought, propping the door open just in case Loki got lonely. Retrieving her offerings, Ellie ventured back into the gallery. "Vic, where are you?" Ellie followed the trajectory of the porcelain, surmising Vicki launched it from outside the studio, and made her way up the wrought iron stairs. "Vic, I've got your favourite, hot choc and donuts." Ellie stopped outside the open studio door and stared. Vicki was pacing the room, muttering to herself under her breath, her right arm across her waist, her left hand twirling her hair around her index finger. "Vicki!" Ellie shouted, making her friend jump. "What?" snapped Vicki, stopping and facing Ellie. "I've been calling you, that's what." Ellie set the cups and bag of donuts on the coffee table. "So, what's happened? I saw the mess downstairs." "It's his fault." Ellie rolled her eyes. "It's always someone else's fault." "Whose?" Although she had a pretty good idea. "Jars, who else?" "What did he do?" "He's sleeping around, what else?" "What makes you say that?" "Well, that security guard at the gig said so. Jack said so." "And what does Jarrod say?" Ellie asked, staring at her friend, her hands spread wide. Vicki always believed others over the person involved. Ellie had never understood why. "He denies it, of course. What else is he going to say? He's hardly going to admit it. No cheating bastard ever does." Vicki reached for another show-ready exhibit, but Ellie intervened, prizing it from her hands and returning it to the display shelf. "I don't think destroying all your showpieces is the answer, do you?" "There won't be a show thanks to him," Vicki said, sulking. "Don't be ridiculous. You've got all these pieces. There's plenty for a show. The only one that was important was the urn that he smashed." Ellie pressed her lips together and looked at the floor. There was no reasoning with Vicki when she was like this. "Okay, what proof do you have that he's been cheating on you?" Not based on what those two said." Ellie picked up one of the hot chocolates and waited, watching Vicki as she pursed her lips, her gaze flitting around the room, a sign of her agitation. God, I hope she's taken her meds, Ellie thought, before remembering Leon and his military-like drill on the matter. "I don't need proof. I can smell the whores on him." "Vic, he's in a rock band. He has fans wanting photos with him all the time. Of course he's going to smell of perfume, and probably aftershave too. What else?" "I don't need anything else. He didn't deny it when I confronted him." Vicki stood, tapping her foot, both arms crossed over her waist, eyebrows raised. "Did he admit it?" "Of course he didn't," Vicki scoffed. "They never admit it." "Don't you think that if he was cheating on you, he'd shower before he came to see you? You know, to get rid of the evidence." "Jack doesn't." "Well, Jack's a pig," Ellie said, handing the rapidly cooling hot chocolate to Vicki. "Drink this before it goes cold. And have one of these." She proffered the bag of donuts, and Vicki pulled one out and stuffed it into her mouth without breaking eye contact with Ellie. "Would you like me to talk to him for you?" Ellie finally asked. "Would you?" The change in Vicki's demeanour was instantaneous, and Ellie shook her head at how easily Vicki could still manipulate her. Ellie sighed. "Well, I did offer." "Of course, but you'll have to give me his number. As long as talking's all you're going to do with him." Ellie felt the black ball lurch as she stared at her friend. She bit down on the retort, choosing instead to raise her eyebrows. Vicki stared at her for a moment before pulling her phone out of her pocket and flicking through it. Ellie felt her own phone vibrate with the message as the door to the gallery opened and Leon called out. "Yoo-hoo! Anyone home?" "We're up here," Ellie called. Was it you she threw the pottery at, El?" "No, it wasn't." "Vic, don't. I'll fill Leon in while you take a bit of time to calm down. I'll talk to Jarrod later. Promise? I promise. Now focus on the show. There will be something else you can use to replace the urn. There isn't. That was what? I made another before that, but I didn't like it. Why? Dunno. Probably defective. I think I chucked it though. I'll ask Leon, okay? But Vicki didn't respond. Her focus on devouring the donuts and hot chocolate. Let me guess. Jarrod smashed it, Leon said, looking up from his desk as Ellie walked in and flopped into the chair opposite. Yup, according to Vic, Ellie said. Loki raced in from outside and nuzzled Ellie's hand, his tail stirring the papers on Leon's desk. Can't he remain outside? He's going to destroy my office, Leon grumbled. He's hardly destroying it, he's just happy, Ellie chided, leaning forward and scratching Loki's belly as he offered it up. So, what was all the drama about? And more importantly, what did she break? Leon asked, leaning back in his chair and steepling his fingers. Well, Vicki accused Jarrod of cheating, which he didn't confirm or deny, and I'm guessing at some point she got frustrated and threw the urn. Oh no, not the urn. She's been obsessed with that for weeks, discarded the first one when I couldn't see what was wrong with it. Looked exactly the same as the one she kept to me. That's good. Did you, by any chance, hang on to it? But of course I did. I'm too used to Madam's tantrums to get rid of any potential showpieces, regardless of what she may think of them. Brilliant. She may be more amenable to showing that one now she has no option, Ellie said and smiled. Excellent. Well, why don't you do whatever you do with dogs and I'll bring peace back to this place. I can stay. I've left her with donuts and hot chocolate. Oh, good. A sugar high. Just what I need, Leon said and pushed away from his desk. You go and take him with you. Feeling somewhat surplus to requirements, Ellie and Loki left. To go where? Ellie didn't know. And that's the end of that chapter. So we're coming towards the end of the sections I'll be reading to you. So the last one will be next week, when the trajectory of Ellie's life takes a bit of an about turn. And I'll see you next week. Bye bye.